Y'all ready for this?
This is djWHEAT from the Championship Gaming Series. Joining me, as always, is ReDeYe, and we've got our first of many quarterfinal matches to wrap up here. This one is between the Birmingham SALVO and the Mexico City FURIA. Our first game was Dead or Alive Male, where we saw Messi go up against El Divino Xmas. And while I actually thought that El Divino was going to be able to post more points than he did, it was actually more impressive to see Messi come out of his shell and really play like we know he can. Yep. He beat El Divino Xmas 5-2, and it was a nice start for the Birmingham SALVO. We actually caught up with Messi. Here's what he had to say.
Thanks, guys. Now, you just told me before the interview you're rooting for Wuhan. Why is that?
Because I originally come from China, and I really want them to win, but it's going to be a tough match.
Are you more afraid of possibly facing off against Offbeat Ninja for the next round?
Well, I'm not afraid of Offbeat Ninja. I'm not afraid of him because, I mean, at the beginning I lost to Pada because of some reasons, and now I figured out all the reasons. I think I'm ready to take on anybody.
And why did we not see a Hayabusa from you today?
It's just my fighting style doesn't suit Hayabusa, but maybe I'll give him another chance, but we'll see.
All right, congratulations, my friend. We're going to send it back to you guys up top. Wheat, ReDeYe, take it.
Our next matchup was FIFA 08, where the passionate Zeracero was in action up against a man that really many people thought would take the win easily. It didn't work out that way for Bazza, and unfortunately he went down by a goal to nil. It was the first ever win for Zeracero as well. His passion came through brilliantly with that one single goal. So that got them back in the game as well, because at the time it looked like they were going to run away with things, having had that surprise win in Dead or Alive Male. What they really needed was a good result in Forza Motorsport 2. That was next up in their third game. Unfortunately, they didn't get it. Birmingham really took them to task this time, with Picasso and Davey Skills producing some stunning stuff in Forza Motorsport 2.
Yeah, it was fantastic. In fact, overall, it was 6-1, and we don't see that score very often here in the CGS arena, so it was surprising that they brought it home, but they certainly had the skills to do so. That made the overall score 11-4. Going into our fourth game, Dead or Alive Female, where we saw Sarah Lou go up against Hitomi 1. Now, both of these females actually undefeated in the CGS arena, so someone was going to suffer their first loss. Well, it wasn't Sarah Lou, as she never even broke a sweat against her opponent. The score was actually 5-3, and although Hitomi 1 did pick up those well-deserved rounds for the FURIA, Sarah Lou just looked phenomenal. It was 5-3. That made the overall score 16-7, and we caught up with Sarah Lou after her victory.
Thanks, guys. Now, Sarah Lou, you said right after the match that you knew you were going to win. Why is this?
Well, I practiced with her in the training room, and I pretty much kicked her ass all the time.
Now, how is it you were able to guess all those counters from your training in the practice room?
Well, yeah. Basically, she did just how she did in the practice rooms, and so I could just counter. I could only win by counting, really, if I wanted to.
So now, coming into the next match, are you just as confident? Let's say if you have to face against Core?
Well, Mystic's going to be more difficult to beat, but before coming here, I had some offline practice with Linux, and he taught me some little tricks to play against her, so I'm hoping they'll work.
All right, we will see if these tricks help her out in the future, but for now, back to you guys at the top.
Our final matchup of the night was Counter-Strike Source, and whilst we thought that Mexico City FURIA were going to get rolled by the very impressive Birmingham SALVO, it completely took us by surprise up here, and I think pretty much everyone in the audience and in the press gallery as well. I don't think anyone could believe what we were seeing. Birmingham rolled 12-6. That's right, you heard me right. Mexico City FURIA pulled home a very impressive win. I don't mean to sound, derogatory towards Mexico City.
No, they got owned. That's not derogatory. It happens in gaming, right?
It certainly does. But Mexico City really weren't expected to come out like this, and I don't think Birmingham expected it either.
No, they definitely didn't, and you could tell it from their faces, and you could tell it from the enthusiasm and the passion from the FURIA. They absolutely demolished them, and it kind of makes you look back and go, gosh, if FURIA would have gotten a few points here, a few points there, that Counter-Strike team would have come up large. Unfortunately, they didn't, and the overall score was 22-19. The Birmingham SALVO will move on to the semifinals, and we caught up with Odie after the team's victory.
Thanks, guys. Now, OD, what is the focus heading into this next match?
beat Carolina. I can't see Carolina losing to Wuhan. We would love to beat an American team. Like to be the first international team to beat an American team.
At your current state, do you guys feel you have what it takes to take down Carolina if it comes down to that?
Yeah, definitely. Like Messi stepped up at last. The Forza team has suddenly got going. That's where they should be, 6-1 in people, because they're such a good team. Sarah's just fantastic. Basel was unlucky to lose 1-0, but it's kind of what I predicted that match. But I didn't expect the CS team to struggle that much. Once we got the 2 rounds we needed, we were just running around and shouting at each other, and I was shouting at them to stay in A, but they didn't want it. They just wanted to win the game, but I didn't care. I just wanted just stay in A, don't give away tactics for the next match.
All right, there you go. They hung in there. They secured the win. Back to you guys up top.
There you have it. Birmingham Salvo moves on, and unfortunately, Mexico City FURIA, they go home. I'm djWHEAT, this is ReDeYe, and you can find more recaps, coverage, and so much more on thecgs.com.